downhill from there.
That's the way to finish. It finishes then at Liverpool 2, Everton 1. Obviously, boys, the big story is Van Dijk, isn't it?
Listen, the opposition tonight didn't give him too many problems, to be honest. But we saw what he can do in the opposition penalty box with a goal. He actually should have scored earlier from a similar situation. But fantastic debut, as I said, all downhill from...
So is it just down to scoring? Because I tell you what, when we sit here and you castigate one of the best, most successful defenders in European, if not world football, correct. Sergio Ramos, you say, look, we don't judge him on scoring goals, and we judge him on his defending. Well, so where's the difference here?
Was he at fault for the goal?
He didn't have anything to do it. No, he wasn't at fault for the goal. The goal shouldn't have been allowed. Balassi fouls Matip on the break back. He basically didn't have an awful lot to do defensively. So, what do you want me to say?
But what I would say is that, OK, you have Virgil van Dijk, right? He's supposed to be a solution to your problems. And it still was 1-0, and Liverpool were controlling the game, and somehow they allow a team like Everton that didn't do much in the match, they allow them back into the game. So the issues are still there. This is one important piece, but it doesn't solve all the issues for Liverpool defensively. They're still going to allow chances. They're still going to allow teams back in games, and we saw that today.
Well, without joking, winding him up. I mean, to score in your debut for any player, but it'll all come out in the wash with Van Dijk. But the other side of the coin, I thought Bobby Madley, I thought the referee had a stinker again. This is the referee who was involved in the debacle at the Bournemouth-West Ham game recently, involving the equaliser. You've got a player pushed into the crowd, then a player actually tugs him away, he does nothing about it, and then in the lead-up to the Everton goal, there's a kick-out in the middle of the park. The refereeing at the moment is taking an absolute
But you think he got the penalty decision right?
Well, do you know what? A few years ago, I would have said no. But unfortunately, this is all these challenges now are penalty kicks.
Because he holds on to him for too long, is that the thing? Ali?
Yeah, he's grabbing him, he's impeding him. And so you call that in midfield, it's a foul. You call him inside the box, it's a foul. To me, it's a penalty.
It's one thing to try and block somebody, it's another to actually hold on. So if you hold on, you're doomed.
All right, then. So Liverpool through to the next round. Will Coutinho be joining him? More speculation tonight about the future of the Brazilian and whether or not he'll move to Barcelona as we welcome Gab Marcotti into the show. Gab, what's the latest you can tell us about this?
Well, what we have is a bit more movement, suggestions that right now that Barcelona are trying to really hammer out a deal with Coutinho's people, and they're very close to, and that they're sort of having back-channel talks with Liverpool. Liverpool's stance is still that, you know, they expect a bid to come in, and that in the end it's going to be Jurgen Klopp who decides, which kind of heard this one before. You know, certainly it feels as if people are working on this, but that they're taking their time doing it, and read into it what you want.
So Jurgen Klopp, it was out of his hands in the summer, if you were reading into to his quotes, when he said, well, it's out of my hands and, you know, I don't make these decisions. Why all of a sudden is it kind of back in Klopp's hands? I don't sort of get that. But we talked about this a few days ago on the show, and it did seem like, at the time, the sensible thing was for all this to happen in the summer. But it just seems everything has been expedited.
Sure.
And it's going to to me, it's going to happen this month.
You think so?
Yes, 100%.
Your sources?
Just following the news. I was like, following the news, this looks going to happen.
Stevie, you haven't been here for the last few days. Obviously, it's developed quite a bit since then. Well, what do you make of it all?
I don't see how...
Do you agree with Craig? Do you think he's gone this week, this month?
And judging from what Gab's saying there, Coutinho's talking to Barcelona. They're thrashing out a deal with them. Well, guess what? It makes no difference what they do. It depends on Liverpool. And Liverpool are going to have to be... Liverpool would be crazy to let this guy go now. And you can talk about, well, they would get a premium for him right now. Well, how about you take a little bit less in the summer and get yourself... Make sure you get yourself back into Champions League for next summer. And between now and then, you figure out who else you're going to bring in. Now, that would be, in my opinion, the straightforward, smart, common sense thing to do.
Maybe it's a numbers thing, Stevie. Maybe it's the fact that, okay, you just spent a chunk of money for Virgil van Dijk, and maybe you want to balance the budget. And if you do so, you do that by selling Coutinho at a premium. Coutinho will never be as expensive as he is right now.
Yeah,
But again, he's talking business. The business thing would be to get in the Champions League and make sure you get that extra money
Yeah,
anyway.
but some of the reports coming out of England this week, and I don't know how true they are, maybe Gab can throw some light on it, is that Coutinho's not too keen to actually play for Liverpool again, which I would find surprising, but that's been leaking out, and so maybe the player is pressurising the club to some extent. Let's go back to the summer briefly, when he was on-off transfer to Liverpool. Guess what? Coutinho was injured.
Yep.
January transfer window comes, on-off transfer to
You're saying
Barcelona.
he's not injured, Craig Byrne?
Coutinho's out again.
Controversy.
No.